What's good, YouTube? We're back, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets, my Houston Rockets. And it's no secret, the Houston Rockets are front runners to pretty much land every single star that there is available on the trade market right now. But me, as the best GM on YouTube, okay, and as an avid Rockets fan myself, I'm here to give you what I think is the best plan for the Houston Rockets to go down, the clear, concise, and cut route the Houston Rockets should be doing going into this offseason. And I have a plan A, and if the plan A does not work out, I also do have a contingency plan in order to basically turn this entire situation around. We're going to delve into it. Starting off, we know the Houston Rockets have pretty much been in every single trade rumors when it comes to big stars. We're talking guys like Giannis. We're talking guys like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, even Jalen Brown lately. But a lot of these just don't make sense to me, bro. A lot of this stuff is not making sense. For example, right? I low-key don't want Giannis on this team. And let me explain. I know that's crazy. You don't want the top 3 in MVP voting every single year, 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. You don't want that type of player on your team? Look, let me explain. Giannis Antetokounmpo being added to the Houston Rockets. What do the Rockets already do best, right? Their entire team's bread and butter comes down to 2 things. Defense and transition offense, right? They're 8th in fast break points, 6th in defensive rating at 109.3. That's not the root of the problem, though. The root of the problem is the half-court offense. They're 17th best in offense with a rating of 113.5. They're 29th in assists per game in the league. 29th, bro. We're out here putting up stats like the Washington Wizards when it comes to, bro, I'm sure the Wizards got better assists than us. The problem is the half-court offense, and a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo coming in, he's going to complement your team. But is he going to be that guy to fix the holes in it? Absolutely not. So if anything, the team's still going to have the same problems that it did once before. And really, to be honest, in the stacked Western Conference that we do have, does that really make us contenders? Getting a guy like Giannis, I like it a lot. Trading Sengun and getting Giannis in return, I'm just not with it, though. I'm not with it. Then let's talk about the other stars, and I'll explain which ones I like and which ones I don't. Kevin Durant, hate it. Hate it. I think Kevin Durant is the worst choice out of all of these people that have been throwing around these rumors. First of all, he's an aging star, right? He pretty much only has 2 to 3 seasons left. He's getting paid $50 million a year. He's a poor team leader, bro. I'm looking shitting on Kevin Durant right now. Look, I don't hate KD, okay? I just don't want him on my team. He's a poor team leader. He's not a good locker room presence, right? He's not going to be that vocal advocate in the locker room. He's not, bro. He's too nonchalant for that. I don't know. It's like he's a little too nonchalant for my liking. And the lack of success since 2021 like, why would I want him on my team, bro? If you keep it with soccer, this dude's like literally Kylian Mbappe. The second he leaves teams, they start playing good. Shout out PSG. But when it comes to Kevin Durant, I don't think this is the prime target for the Houston Rockets. And the amount that you would have to give up is less compared to other players, but you have to put up a good amount of players to match that $50 million salary of Kevin Durant. And I don't feel comfortable giving up guys like Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, guys who have so much more upside. And really just what we've learned from the recency of the NBA is championship teams are built off of depth now. Not really so much as to stars and big threes. It's so much more about depth. And I don't feel comfortable trading those guys for a guy like Kevin Durant, who I don't think is that 1A player on a championship team at this point in his career. And all the talk about Jaylen Brown, bro, is not happening. That's another $50 million player. He's too expensive. And you're going to have to give up so much more. You're going to have to give up pretty much as much, like a similar package to Giannis. And, bro, I ain't going to lie, dude. If I have to put up Alpreun Sengun and all of the Rockets' depth, other than Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, but those guys being untouchable in that trade. Which they're not untouchable in every trade, but in that specific trade, it's going to be around Alpreun and Sengun most likely. I don't want Jaylen Brown, bro. In that situation, keep him. Boston, you could keep him. There is only one player on the trade market who I want to see in a Rockets jersey, in Toyota Center, walking down Westheimer. It is Devin Booker, okay? It is Devin Booker. I want Devin Booker on this team. Let me explain. He will fill up every single hole that we actually have. In this trade package, it would be centered around a guy like Jalen Green. What you're getting out of Devin Booker is an upgraded Jalen Green. You get a more consistent Jalen Green. What the Rockets need is a closer. When it comes down to those close games, 2 minutes left, who's going to put the ball in the bucket? Who's going to go out there and provide your team offense? Because, bro, there were so many Rockets games that I watched, bro, and it was Dillon Brooks taking the game-winning shots. And no, I'm not saying the ball just ended up in his hands, spot-up shot. No, bro. I'm saying that the play was designed around Dillon Brooks to take the game winner. And I like me some Dillon Brooks, bro. I don't want to take no game winners. You need a guy who is going to be the one with the ball in the clutch. And that is a guy like Devin Booker. He's an upgraded Jalen Green if we actually end up pulling off that swap. Let me tell you why. More consistent offense. You get an upgraded playmaking. You get similar levels of defense. He's a much better half-court player, and he's significantly more consistent. Jalen Green, you know I like Jalen Green. He has some amazing performances, but, bro, in the playoffs, he had one good game where he scored 38 points. Every other game, he had 8 points, 9 points, 8 points, 9 points. Where Devin Booker, who pretty much just came off of one of the worst years of his career, still averaged 25.5 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, 46% from the field. That's his worst year of his career when you talk about like a success standpoint. What are we doing here, bro? That's a career year for most people in the NBA. But here's the thing. I like me some Jalen Green, okay? I still think he has some tremendous upside. The good thing is, though, this is where I talk about the specifics, okay? At this point, I talked about who I want these guys to chase, who's the star player we should go after. But now I'm going to talk about what exactly they should be doing to a T, okay? And surprise, it is not trading Jalen Green. And it is not trading for Devin Booker yet, okay? Bear with me. The Rockets have some free agents who are very important and vital to their success coming up this free agency period. First things first, I would opt Fred VanVleet out of his team option. Why? Because he's about to get paid $45 million a year, and that is not what we are doing, okay? That is not what we are doing. Opt out. He wants to resign. He wants to play for this team. Bring him back for a lower contract, maybe somewhere around the 25s or 30s. Renegotiate it to maybe like a 2-year deal. Get Fred VanVleet back. I want him on the team. I think he's a phenomenal player, but 45 is way too much money to be paying Fred VanVleet. And honestly, bro, even 30 might even be a little too much. So just bring him back, more affordable contract. Additionally, Steven Adams is going to be a free agent. And Steven Adams was a vital part of the Rockets' postseason. Why? Because of his stifling defense. And on top of that, his offensive rebounding was out of this world. But you need to bring him back. I think he's a phenomenal backup center. There's going to be a lot of teams chasing after him. I can see the Warriors going after him. A ton of other teams. And, bro, the last place I want that guy to go is the Warriors, bro. Hell nah. Those demons, dude. And then when it comes to Aaron Holiday, I personally think that the Rockets should let him walk. Give a guy like Reed Sheppard more minutes. I think that Reed Sheppard has a lot of upside. Let Aaron Holiday walk. Run with Reed Sheppard a little bit more. This is where it gets more interesting, though. I think the Rockets should trade the 10th overall pick. And I have the perfect trade for this to make sense, okay? We're going to have to give up one of our guys, but it's all good because I truly think that this is a win-win for both teams. As much as I hate doing business with them, the trade that I propose is Moses Moody for Cam Whitmore and the 10th overall pick. Moses Moody was absolutely balling this season. Balling is a bit of a overstretch, but whenever he does get minutes, I think he provides quality ball. When you consider that against the Houston Rockets, he did pop off for some pretty good performances. I went to one of the games. He, in 25 minutes, had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 50% from the field goal, 43% from 3. And that was only off 25 minutes. Steve Kerr, for some reason, does not like to play this guy. He gets minimal minutes, and I truly think that him in more of like a 6-man role would really strive and provide that offense and also that rigid defense that the Houston Rockets truly need inside their bench unit, because we have the defenders, but on top of that, if you are able to provide a player who's more of a two-way threat, he fits into that mold and he adds on to it. I think that he would be great. And then with the Warriors, they get to have more options. They get some fresher legs. They can draft a player with whatever means they want with the 10th overall pick. And on top of that, you get Cam Whitmore, who's an offensive machine. And I think he'd actually favor well in the Warriors system. I like Cam Whitmore. I hate giving him up. But I think this is a win-win for both teams. So now we've already talked about free agency. we talk about the draft. Jalen Green's still on the team. After the entire first 5 minutes of the video, I just dragged on Jalen Green. Why is he still on the team in this video? Let me tell you why. The Devin Booker trade is not possible for a Jalen Green swap unless we wait until the season starts, because that is when Jalen Green's contract kicks in. Now, if I'm the Rockets, this is the clear direction I take. You try it again, okay? You run it until the trade deadline, and if you see that this team still has the same holes as before, you let it go. But if you see that Jalen Green has developed to be that closer, to be that it factor when it comes to winning games and losing games, you bring him on. You continue with it. You take this young core and you go as far as you possibly can. But if not, brother, go to Phoenix, dog. You better sweat your ass off in Phoenix. And the proposed trade package for that situation, because this would be eligible only if Jalen Green's contract is kicked in, which doesn't start until the starting of the season, it would be a Jabari Smith Jr., Jalen Green for Devin Booker swap. And I think that this is a win-win for both teams. At this point, around the trade deadline, you're going to have an idea of what both of these teams are. The Suns are going to realize if they're completely done and they need an absolute full-on rebuild, which is most likely the case, they're going to accept it at that point. And they're pretty much just going to go into pretty much desperation mode. We still have their 2027 pick, which if the Phoenix Suns are as bad as they seem to be projected to be, 2027, we could be getting an absolute stud in that draft class. So that's what I say. Don't completely give up on this young group just yet. This is the best route that you could possibly take, where you kind of see how it is for another 6 months, maybe pretty much halfway through the season. You see where your team is. If you still have the holes at the half-court setting, or if Jalen Green has developed to be that guy, the Phoenix Suns are going to be able to tell if they are going to need a full-on rebuild or if it's over. And if by the trade deadline you both see that you can benefit off of each other, that's when you do that Jalen Green for Devin Booker swap. And I think that's a win-win for both teams. Phoenix Suns, they go younger, they get their pick, they get Jabari too, great player, and the Rockets, absolute win-now mode, fill out pretty much all the potential holes that they could have, and that's it. But yeah, if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there any other move, any other route that you want to see the Rockets go down? And let me know your finals predictions. Game 1 is starting very soon. I will be dropping more bangers, getting more consistent. Don't worry, it's on the way. If you're still here, just know I appreciate you. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take care.